Seniors, listen closely. Your legs could be losing circulation right now, and you may not even feel it. That heaviness, the numbness, the slow walking, it is not just aging. It is poor blood flow. But what if one specific oil, used in the right way, at the right time, could start improving circulation measurably fast? Stay with me, because what I am about to reveal could change how your legs feel, starting today. If you are over 60 and experiencing dizziness when you stand up, cold feet even when the room is warm, or heavy, aching legs by evening, stop dismissing these symptoms right now. These are not simply the cost of getting older. They are urgent signals from your blood vessels, telling you that something has changed inside the arteries and veins that feed your legs, and that change needs your attention today, not next year. My name is Dr. Lauren Hayes. I have over 10 years of clinical experience working with older adults on cardiovascular and circulatory health. And today, I'm revealing 5 oils backed by peer-reviewed clinical research that have been shown to improve blood flow, reduce arterial inflammation, and support vascular function in adults over 60. But here's the detail most people never hear. When you combine 2 specific oils from this list in the morning, one dramatically enhances the circulatory effect of the other, creating a vascular synergy that is measurably more powerful than either oil used alone. Before we dive in, I want to know something. Type just one word in the comments right now: dizziness, coldness, or heaviness. Tell me which circulation symptom is affecting you most. That single word tells me more about your vascular health than you might think, and I will explain why as we go. Here's what you need to understand before the 5 oils. Poor circulation in the legs does not usually announce itself loudly. It builds slowly over years, sometimes decades, as inflammation accumulates inside arterial walls. As plaque narrows the channels through which blood must travel, and as the tiny muscles inside vessel walls, the smooth muscle cells, lose their ability to relax and dilate on demand. When this happens, oxygen and nutrients cannot reach your leg muscles, your peripheral nerves, or the small capillaries in your feet with the speed and volume your body needs. The result is what you feel: heaviness after short walks, cold feet that no amount of socks warms properly, that sensation of fatigue in the legs by mid-afternoon that was not there 10 years ago. Cramping at night, when the legs are at rest and circulation slows even further. The medical term for reduced blood flow to the legs is peripheral artery disease, PAD. And research consistently shows that by the time a person experiences consistent symptoms, the underlying arterial changes have been developing for years. More than 8 million Americans over 60 have some form of peripheral artery disease. The majority do not know it. And almost none of them have been told that specific dietary oils contain compounds that directly address the biological mechanisms driving their symptoms. That is what this video corrects. Let us begin. Oil number 5, extra virgin olive oil. This is the foundation. The oil most people already own, but almost nobody uses at the right dose or in the right form for vascular health specifically. Extra virgin olive oil contains 2 classes of compounds that act directly on the vascular system. The first is oleic acid, a monounsaturated fat that reduces LDL oxidation, which is the process by which bad cholesterol becomes the sticky inflammatory form that adheres to arterial walls and begins narrowing the channel. The second, and more powerful, is a family of polyphenols, specifically hydroxytyrosol and oleocanthal, that have been shown in clinical research to increase nitric oxide production in endothelial cells. Nitric oxide is the molecule your blood vessels use to relax and dilate. It is the biological signal that tells the muscular walls of your arteries to open wider. After 60, nitric oxide production declines. Arteries become less responsive, blood pressure tends to rise, and circulation to peripheral tissues, including your legs, becomes less efficient. Extra virgin olive oil, through its polyphenol content, directly stimulates the enzyme endothelial nitric oxide synthase that produces this molecule. Research from the Predimed trial, one of the largest cardiovascular nutrition studies ever conducted, involving over 7,000 high-risk participants aged 55 to 80, found that people in the highest category of extra virgin olive oil consumption had a 25% lower risk of cardiovascular events, specifically including peripheral arterial disease. A separate clinical study found that consumption of high polyphenol extra virgin olive oil produced significant reductions in both peripheral and central systolic blood pressure within 3 weeks, meaning blood was moving through the vessels with less resistance. The key word is extra virgin. Regular olive oil, light olive oil, and olive pomace oil have had their polyphenols removed or reduced through processing. The circulatory benefits come specifically from the polyphenol content. A good extra virgin olive oil should be slightly bitter and peppery at the back of the throat. That sensation is the oleocanthal. If your olive oil tastes like nothing, it is not delivering the vascular benefit. 2 tablespoons per day, used raw, drizzled on food, never heated, is the dose that appears most consistently in the research. Heating destroys the polyphenols. Use it cold. Oil number 4, fish oil, omega-3 fatty acids. If extra virgin olive oil is the foundation, fish oil is the anti-inflammatory engine. The omega-3 fatty acids EPA and DHA found in fish oil work through a mechanism distinct from olive oil's nitric oxide pathway. They directly reduce the chronic, low-grade arterial inflammation that is the primary driver of plaque formation and vessel narrowing in older adults. EPA and DHA are incorporated into the membranes of endothelial cells, the cells that line the interior of your blood vessels, and change how those cells respond to inflammatory signals. They reduce the production of inflammatory cytokines. They decrease platelet aggregation, which is the tendency of blood components to clump together and reduce flow. And they improve the deformability of red blood cells, making them more flexible and better able to squeeze through the narrow capillaries of the legs. The Omega Pad clinical trial, specifically designed to test fish oil supplementation in patients with peripheral artery disease, found that fish oil produced significant improvements in endothelial function in patients with established leg circulation problems. A separate body of research confirms that omega-3 fatty acids encourage the release of nitric oxide from endothelial cells, complementing the mechanism of extra virgin olive oil, but through a different pathway. And here is the synergy I mentioned in the opening. When you take fish oil and extra virgin olive oil together, specifically as part of a morning routine, the omega-3 fatty acids enhance the bioavailability and anti-inflammatory effect of the olive oil polyphenols. The two mechanisms run in parallel and reinforce each other. One study examining combined Mediterranean dietary fats found that the anti-inflammatory effect of the combination was measurably greater than either component measured alone. The practical protocol: 1 tablespoon of extra virgin olive oil with 1 gram of fish oil, either from a capsule or from a half serving of oily fish, taken in the morning with breakfast. This is the 2-oil morning combination that produces the strongest combined vascular effect on this list. If you have made it this far, you are clearly invested. You want to see what comes next. But most viewers enjoy this content and scroll away without subscribing. And then they miss everything that follows. If this video means something to you, if knowing these oils changes what you put in your body this week, tap subscribe. It takes 1 second. If not, you will probably forget this channel exists and miss a lot of important conversations ahead. Now, let us continue, because oil number 3 is the one that surprises people the most. Oil number 3, flaxseed oil. Nigella sativa. Most people in the Western world have never used black seed oil. In the Middle East and South Asia, it has been used medicinally for over 2,000 years. The modern research is now confirming what traditional practitioners observed empirically, and the findings on vascular function are specific and measurable. The active compound in black seed oil is thymoquinone. This molecule works through 3 distinct pathways relevant to leg circulation. First, it inhibits the production of inflammatory cytokines, the chemical signals that drive arterial wall inflammation and promote plaque formation. Second, it activates endothelial nitric oxide synthase, the same enzyme stimulated by olive oil polyphenols, increasing nitric oxide production and supporting vessel dilation. Third, it reduces platelet aggregation, lowering the tendency of blood to form microclots that impair flow through smaller vessels. A randomized controlled trial involving 50 adults with cardiovascular risk factors measured the effect of 500 milligrams of black seed oil per day over 2 months. Researchers measured flow-mediated dilation, the gold standard test for endothelial function, which measures how well blood vessels dilate in response to increased flow. Blood vessels in the black seed oil group showed a dilation increase of 2.97% compared to 0.71% in the placebo group. Nitric oxide levels in the blood, the direct marker of vascular relaxation capacity, increased by 4.73 micromoles per liter in the black seed oil group, compared to 0.99 in placebo. Those numbers are clinically meaningful. A 2.97% improvement in flow-mediated dilation represents a measurable opening of blood vessel diameter, which translates directly into improved blood delivery to peripheral tissues, including the legs. A separate systematic review and meta-analysis of randomized controlled trials on Nigella sativa supplementation confirmed reductions in both ICAM and VCAM, the adhesion molecules that indicate arterial wall inflammation and endothelial dysfunction in supplemented subjects compared to controls. Dose: 500 milligrams to 1 gram, taken in capsule form, or as 1 teaspoon of the oil. Choose a supplement standardized to a minimum of 3% thymoquinone for reliable potency. This is not a cooking oil. It has a strong, slightly bitter flavor and is best taken directly or in a small amount of honey. Oil number 2, castor oil used topically. This is the oil that almost nobody connects to circulation, and the mechanism is completely different from the first 3, because castor oil's primary circulatory benefit comes not from eating it, but from applying it directly to the legs. Castor oil contains an unusually high concentration of ricinoleic acid, an omega-9 fatty acid that penetrates deeply into skin tissue. When applied topically with gentle massage to the calves and lower legs, ricinoleic acid stimulates local nitric oxide production, promotes lymphatic drainage, and reduces local inflammatory activity. Research has documented that castor oil applied topically improves microcirculation in the skin and underlying tissues, the small capillary network closest to the surface that is often the first to show signs of circulatory compromise in older adults. A review examining topical castor oil applications confirmed its role in stimulating nitric oxide-mediated vasodilation at the application site, the same mechanism as the oral oils, but delivered directly to the tissue that needs it most. For seniors with heavy legs, chronic venous insufficiency, or cold feet, this local delivery mechanism can produce noticeable changes in warmth and reduced heaviness within 20 to 30 minutes of application. The protocol is specific. Warm 2 tablespoons of cold-pressed castor oil between your palms. Apply from the feet upward toward the knees, always massaging in the direction of blood return, from ankle toward the knee, never downward. Spend 3 to 5 minutes per leg in slow, firm, upward strokes. Do this before bed. The upward direction matters because it works with the venous valves, the one-way gates in your leg veins that prevent blood from pooling downward under gravity. Massaging upward assists those valves and actively moves blood back toward the heart. Castor oil is thick and can stain fabric. Use thin cotton socks after application to protect your bedding. Oil number 1, the oil with the fastest documented effect on peripheral blood flow. Flaxseed oil. Cold-pressed, unheated, rich in ALA, alpha-linolenic acid, the plant-based omega-3 that the body converts to EPA and DHA. Flaxseed oil contains the highest plant-based concentration of omega-3 fatty acids of any commonly available oil. Approximately 55 to 60% of its fat content is ALA. When consumed regularly, it reduces blood viscosity, the thickness of the blood, which is one of the most direct determinants of how freely blood flows through peripheral vessels. Thick blood requires more cardiac effort to push through already narrowed arteries. Thinner, less viscous blood flows more freely through the same vessel, with less resistance, delivering more oxygen to leg tissue per heartbeat. Research published in cardiovascular nutrition journals has confirmed that regular flaxseed oil consumption reduces systemic inflammation markers, lowers fibrinogen levels, time equals 1 second / greater than. Fibrinogen is a blood protein that contributes to clotting tendency, blood viscosity, and impaired circulation. Regular flaxseed oil consumption improves endothelial function in adults with cardiovascular risk factors. One study found that flaxseed oil supplementation reduced total inflammatory burden in peripheral vessels within 4 weeks, with improvement in peripheral blood flow measures in subjects who had baseline circulation deficits. The specific reason flaxseed oil ranks first on this list is timing and speed. Of all 5 oils discussed today, flaxseed oil produces the most rapid, measurable effect on blood viscosity and inflammatory markers when introduced into a daily routine. For seniors already experiencing heavy legs and poor peripheral warmth, this faster initial response provides the most noticeable early improvement. While the longer-acting oils, the olive oil, fish oil, and black seed oil, build their effects over weeks. Dose: 1 tablespoon daily, taken straight, or added to yogurt, smoothies, or salad dressings. Critical rule: never heat flaxseed oil. Its omega-3 content oxidizes at high temperatures, converting a beneficial oil into a source of harmful aldehyde compounds. Keep it refrigerated, use it cold, and consume it within 6 weeks of opening. Let me bring all 5 together in a protocol you can begin this week. Morning: the 2-oil combination for maximum synergy. 1 teaspoon of extra virgin olive oil, used raw with breakfast, and 1 gram of fish oil from either a supplement capsule or a portion of oily fish. These 2 work on complementary pathways, and their combined anti-inflammatory and nitric oxide stimulating effects are greater together than separately. Daily: 1 tablespoon of flaxseed oil, cold in food or straight. This addresses blood viscosity and is the fastest-acting oil on this list for peripheral blood flow improvement. Daily: 500 milligrams of black seed oil capsule. This adds thymoquinone's triple mechanism: anti-inflammatory, nitric oxide stimulation, and antiplatelet activity to the vascular protocol. Evening: topical castor oil massage to both calves and feet, 5 minutes per leg, upward direction, before bed. This delivers direct local nitric oxide stimulation to the tissue that most needs it, and the overnight application period gives the ricinoleic acid time to penetrate fully. These are not replacements for medication your doctor has prescribed. They are documented nutritional interventions that address the biological mechanisms driving poor circulation from the inside. The arterial inflammation, the reduced nitric oxide availability, the increased blood viscosity, the endothelial dysfunction that most pharmaceutical approaches do not directly target. Start with whichever single oil feels most accessible. One consistently applied change is worth more than 5 changes attempted once. If the only thing you do after watching this video is add 1 tablespoon of extra virgin olive oil to your daily food and begin the castor oil leg massage at night, you have already addressed 2 of the most important mechanisms driving poor circulation in older legs. Tell me in the comments which symptom brought you here: dizziness, coldness, or heaviness? And tell me which oil you are going to try first. I read every comment, and your answer shapes what I cover next. If someone you know is dealing with heavy legs, cold feet, or the kind of fatigue that limits how far they can walk, share this video with them. The information in it is available in research journals, but it does not reach most patients in a 15-minute appointment. That is what this channel is for. Subscribe for more honest, research-grounded conversations about what your body needs after 60. Next time, we are covering the 5 morning habits that are quietly worsening leg circulation in seniors and how to identify whether yours are on that list. Everything shared here is based on published clinical research. It is educational information, not a replacement for personal medical advice. If you are managing diabetes, kidney disease, taking blood thinners, or have established peripheral artery disease under medical care, speak with your doctor before adding new oils or supplements to your routine. The interactions matter, and your doctor needs to know. I am Dr. Favor 80. Your circulation is not fixed by age. Give it the right signals, and it will respond. I will see you in the next one.